Canadians are qualified. Your anxieties soon mollified. Strange times call for strange content, it's true. We present the well.
Chris, now that there's silence on your end, can you speak to our beautiful partners for this this fantastic show that will have no more tech glitches and only be glorious?
Well, hey, Dana, I'm happy to do that. It is Pride Month, and it's good. It's good that we're so happy right now because it's fitting. We are so excited to be raising funds for some amazing LGBTQ plus organizations, including revisiting our good friends at the DC Center for the LGBT Community.
Oh my God, the DC Center for the LGBT Community is awesome. I have, not to brag, I have a lot of gay friends, okay? I can hang, I'm cool, you know what I'm saying? And I've heard only good things about the DC Center. They have so many amazing programs, workshops, discussion groups, and now they always do so much for Pride, but because this year things have been moving online, which sucks, except for this show. You guys love that this show is online, but everything else, they have some really cool virtual events for Pride. So definitely check them out. And they're amazing. They serve everybody. But we also realized that even though we talked about racism 2 weeks ago, there's still racism. Like it's still going on.
Yeah, it's crazy. Also, did you know that Black people can also be gay?
Well,
crazy.
There is so much learning happening in the year right now, and I'm just thankful for this moment to take that all in. So much learning, so much edutainment. But you know what? When we got to give, and that's why we're also raising funds for the Center for Black Equity. Very cool organization. They are the global leader in Black LGBTQ plus Pride events. And they also provide great resources and training for folks. So they are just amazing. So definitely give them money. Hi, Violet. We'll see you later.
See you later, Violet.
And yeah, it's going to be awesome. Give them money. We will have the link throughout, right? Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We sure will. So yeah, you have no excuses. That link will be there. Dana.
What's been going on, Chris? I mean, it's like so much has happened since we were in the yurt together, but also not enough has happened. And, you know, it's like people keep saying like in these trying times, but sometimes honestly, it doesn't even feel like these times are trying at all.
You are so right, Dana. You are so right. But you know what? One thing that I think is kind of cool is how around the country right now, people are dismantling statues of Confederate soldiers.
Love it.
Cool, right?
So cool. Here for it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I actually read recently that there are talks of not only this, but taking it a step further and changing some of the names of our military bases that are currently named after Confederate soldiers as well.
That makes sense. You know, it would surprise me. I read that too. And I was like, wait, we have military bases named after Confederate soldiers now? Right? That's weird. In fact, I was looking locally in Virginia. There's Fort Pickett, which is named after General Pickett, who you might remember if you took AP US history, which I did, humble brag, okay? And in the Battle of Gettysburg, he just led his troops straight into like the Union line. It was like Pickett's charge and they all died and it was terrible and it was a total cluster. So bad that even I remember it from AP US history, and that was 5,000 years ago. It's just like, why would you name it after Pickett? It's such a bad name. I wonder why they would even pick it.
Dana, I hope that charge wasn't as long as the walk you just took for that joke. Hey,
they're Confederate, so it's okay. Go on.
It's true. You know what? I think it'd be pretty cool to name military bases after Black leaders, right? Black leaders. But I think we should go with Black leaders who are like well known, you know, not just like the obvious Black heroes that some people know and love from history, who have served within and outside of America's military, but more like a focus on Black celebrities that I personally know from the 90s, from my childhood. You know what I mean?
Totally. It's like, I want to honor Black leaders. And obviously there are amazing Black heroes within the military and outside of the military, but I don't want to have to like read a book about it. You know what I mean? So I think we should just go with what we know here. And that's why we'll see how these look on a sign. I thought one good idea here could be just instead of Fort Bragg, maybe just go with the Fort Aunt Viv, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
The original,
Definitely.
obviously.
Definitely the best from that show.
Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince. Yeah, I was like, don't say Family Matters. It was Fresh Prince. Yeah.
This is out of control, y'all.
It's crazy. Yeah, you know, here's another one that I think would be good. LeVar Burton seems like a nice guy, Air Force Base, right? He was fantastic on Reading Rainbow. He was fantastic in Star Trek. And you know what? Don't take my word for it. Maybe ask General Mattis at this point, right?
That's,
LeVar Burton.
I mean, Reading Rainbow is actually the perfect song/show for our times because they're like, I can go anywhere, take a look, it's in a book. We all remember all the lyrics to the song. And it's cool because just like now, it's like you can go anywhere in your imagination, not in real life, stay home, you know? Like it's fun.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, it's not just the Air Force bases and the military bases, it's also the schools though, Chris.
Is it? Tell me more about that.
That's why I was thinking maybe at least every single sex military academy. I'm thinking let's go with Boys to Men, you know?
Boys to Men. Boys to Men. That's what they did, right?
That can be our new salute.
I would love to go to that military academy.
That is great. Okay, well, good. This is like great. I feel really good about the work that we've done here today.
I feel really good about that too. Yeah. But you know what? I think that now that we've fixed racism.
Called it.
We should maybe move on to COVID, right?
Might as well. We're on a roll.
Still around, on a roll. Let's do it. So despite our commander-in-chief recently telling us not to do so, I recently was a little naughty and I got a COVID-19 test.
Ooh, you're a bad bitch, Chris.
I'm a bad bitch.
You're bad. You got tested. You know what, you guys, I can't lie. I knew Chris got tested because he actually told me about it. And when he told me about it, I recorded his voice because of public information and health, because I wanted to make sure that you, our viewers, would know what to expect if you go get a COVID test. So I actually recorded that, and then I made a little video that 100% accurately visually depicts his experience of getting a test.
You recorded my voice, and you didn't tell me about this. You just made a recording.
I'm telling you now.
Okay, well that's a little creepy, Dana. Is that it's that one-party consent law, isn't it? Yeah.
It depends on the jurisdiction, Chris.
One-party consent, also known as not consent, Dana.
That's true. One-party consent, you should be having a party of one, because unless in this case, because it's for public health and information, Chris loves it. We're going to go ahead and show this video so that you can learn from Chris's experience exactly what it's like to get a COVID test.
I'd like to see what you did here. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so last Thursday in the morning, I started to feel a little nauseous, and I wasn't quite sure what it was. Definitely sick to my stomach. Lasted for a long time, at least 24 hours of butt pee, I would say, to the point where I started to get concerned. I started to think, could this be my version of COVID-19? Is this the weird way this virus is impacting me? So I decided to go and get myself a test. It turns out that testing right now is very available, very free, very easy. All you need is a car in many cases, because many times it will take the form of a drive-through. So I found myself a drive-through testing location at a CVS, and I drove there. And it was, sure enough, just a drive-through, but without fast food. Instead of fast food, there was a man who handed me a testing kit through a little box. behind glass. So he was behind the glass. He passes me the testing kit through this metal box, and I took the kit. And then he had his own version of the kit on the other side of the glass. And while speaking to me through a microphone, he instructed me on how to administer the test on myself using his testing parts to sort of mimic what I was supposed to be doing. The main utensil was a long, skinny, like a cotton swab on a stick. There it is, like a very long Q-tip. So I took that Q-tip, and he instructed me to stick it an inch up my nose. So I did that while watching him do the same thing. Although I don't think he went up quite as far as I did, because I was touching my brain definitely with the Q-tip. It was pretty gross. And then he tells me to turn it an inch to the right and then an inch to the left. So I scraped my brain through my nose an inch to the right and an inch to the left, just kind of swirled it around. And then I had to do the same thing to the left nostril. And then he instructed me to snap the cotton swab, like the stick, in half. So I did that. And then to put the part with the gross stuff into the tube, and the tube had some liquid in it, and I actually turned the tube upside down at first and spilled some liquid on my pants, and I was like, oh shit, is this over now? Did I fuck up? Do I have to do this again? And he was like, no, it's fine, idiot. This will do, I guess. God, let's hope you do have COVID, because that'll probably help with, evolution. So I put it in the thing and drove away, and that was it. Also got my results today. Turns out I don't have COVID. Pretty sure it was just a stomach bug. And yeah, don't have any stomach issues anymore. All right, thanks for listening to the story.
Wow. Just wow, Dana. I didn't realize that not only did you record it, but you somehow understood exactly what happened also.
Yes.
That was like a perfect visual for you. We are like so connected here in this yurt. This is so us right now.
We're just vibing with that 100% accurate. So if you get tested, please don't spill things on yourselves, because we don't want too many Ninja Turtles, unless they're Raphael, because he's my favorite. True. He's a pretty good one. Yeah. Donatello's okay. That was a lot of work. Just watching that, it seemed kind of stressful, and like I need to relax now. Yeah, boy. If there was something that we could use to relax. What? Okay. Oh, I have an idea. Yeah. You want to have a comedy show? Yes. Oh my God. Me too. Wow. Vibing. We're really vibing. This is really nice. I like this. This is like our flow. I think that's what you call this. This is great. Okay. So we're going to get right into it, guys. We're going to bring our first comedian of the evening up right now. This guy is a guy who you may have seen before. He's been on a few of our shows because we love him. You may have seen him on Comedy Central. You may have seen him at Dry Bar Comedy. But most of all, you've probably seen him at robertmack.com. So with no further ado, please put your hands together for our friend and soon to be yours, Mr. Robert Mack. We can't see or hear you, so honor system, okay? You better be clapping. Better be clapping, guys. Everybody clap, or you can clap in the chat. Chat clap. All right, it's just my face. I'm gonna get out of here.
A fun way to cut the stress is to pet a pet. Pets give unconditional love, and there's a reason that dogs are brought to retirement homes. They love being petted, and the residents love to pet them. Also, a pet won't judge your self-inflicted bad haircut. Instead of connecting with an animal, you can disconnect from everything. Imagine going to a quiet room and unplugging for 10 minutes. No rings, beeps, buzzers, updates. These breaks are just like my lectures. People say that they feel a lot longer than they actually are, and I have the surveys that back that up. Another thing you can do after you unplug is meditate. If you think you can't do it, you're probably doing it wrong, at least the thinking part. Meditating isn't about shutting down your thoughts. It's just learning how to not chase them down rabbit holes. Like any new skill, it takes some time to learn. Luckily, there are a lot of cell phone apps that make it easy to practice. And the only personal data that they take are your innermost thoughts and feelings, and your credit card numbers, and your nude selfies. So you can meditate on that. Only 50 more to go. Uh-oh. This one is so difficult they had to pass a constitutional amendment for it, and it was so unpopular that they overturned it. I'm going to change this a bit. If you have a void, just add alcohol. Voila. Voila is French for ta-da. I think I'm going to make this one optional. I mean, you can avoid alcohol officially, right? But always remember, if you're drinking and driving, please swerve carefully. But if you're stuck at home, a little liver disinfectant isn't going to hurt anybody. Go for it. We're in a crisis. Lots of stressed out people need an outlet and find it in social support, which is hard to do with social distancing. But you can join a virtual wine club or online beer making class or Zoom happy hour. If you have other interests for whatever reason, there are many meetup groups and other social communities you can find camaraderie with people who like that same sort of junk. Good luck with that. If you need something a little bit smaller than a social group, you can find a trusted listener, like a virtual bartender or online mixologist, or someone at your Zoom happy hour. Stress that is kept inside will eat you up, and a close person that you trust is a great way to get it off your chest. Make sure that you trust them and make sure that they listen.
Wow. I learned so much from Robert about trusting people and justifying alcohol. Oh my God, it was amazing. Chris, you're on mute. Chris.
I know.
Yes, no.
He's such a good teacher, that Robert Mack.
Yeah.
He's great. The other day when I was swerving, I was like, I remembered his advice, and I started to pay attention, a little more attention to, to swerve. Yeah, he's a good
Doing
teacher.
God's work.
Doing the Lord's work. Thanks, Robert.
Yahweh, whatever's out there.
Yahweh, whatever is the right thing for you to follow in your heart.
Speaking of following your heart, I'm following my heart to this next guest that we have, because we're going to start doing a just straight up stand-up segment with a guest comic. And I am so excited to have this lady on with us. She is absolutely hilarious. She's performed on Night Train with Wyatt Cenac at the Church of Satire, so many places. So, I mean, now she's really made it. She's on the Well show, but truly we are blessed. We are grateful to have her with us. So we're going to do some stand up for what's right, because it's stand up, but we're raising money for a nonprofit. You guys get it? It's very clever. Okay. So we're going to welcome Violet here into the yurt. Come on in, Violet.
Come on in, Violet.
Oh, there she is. Yes.
There she is.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yeah,
Here,
you
we're
sound
going to
great.
hide ourselves so it's all you. We're
Okay.
out.
Okay. See you later, Violet.
Bye. Enjoy, Violet.
Hello, everyone. Actually, Dana and Christopher were talking about replacing the Confederate, statues and high school names with Black celebrities, and I got really excited, and I started coming up with names. And then they were like, how about LeVar Burton, a Black man that encourages reading and literacy? And I was like, oh yeah, that would be a good Black celebrity too. I guess, I mean, because I had my own ideas, but I guess in retrospect, nobody would want to go to Old Dirty Bastard Senior High School because you wouldn't get a diploma, you would get chlamydia. But um, a lot of people are talking about the Confederate statues now because a lot of them, there's another round of them dropping. They're just like Game of Thrones characters that just drop in at any moment. And you still hear the same arguments in defense of Confederate monuments. People are saying you can't just erase history. And it was like, yeah, like it's part of our history. It's like, yeah, it's part of our history, but how come that part gets a statue? You know? Could you imagine one day if Hillary Clinton came home one day and there was just like a big portrait of Monica Lewinsky in the middle of the living room? And she was like, Bill, what the hell? And he was like, it's part of our history, babe. It's like, what? Take it down. Why are you trying to erase the past? Yeah, it's dumb. There's a lot going on now with Black Lives Matter protests, and people are taking to the streets and being more active. And some people think that the Black Lives Matter movement is divisive. And the only problem with calling the Black Lives Matter movement divisive is that that point of view is it's dumb. I mean, it is. It's dumb, and it's not something that you should say in a way that would allow other people to hear you. And I mean, Black Lives Matter is the result of racial division, not the cause. Getting mad at Black Lives Matter for racial division is like getting mad at the smoke detector because the house is on fire. It's just like, I know it's loud and disruptive, but if you solve the problem, then you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, so I'm really glad to be here. Well, here being relative these days. As you can see, I'm in space because I can't with you people. And a lot of my friends haven't been taking the quarantine well. They've been growing their COVID beards and everything. And I too am growing a COVID beard on my legs. I have not been shaving. And when I do shows, I like to do cute, like pixie-ish makeup, you know, like a pixie. From the waist down, I'm a satyr. Just static electricity when I walk. You can probably hear the ice cream truck outside my window just now. It's very lonely because everyone is afraid to die. They're like, they don't want COVID with sprinkles. Oh, speaking of going out, this quarantine has made things difficult for a lot of people, comedians being one of them, but also cat callers are having a difficult time and are having to adjust. They're having to make adjustments in their harassment. You know, they're saying things like, damn girl, you look good. Probably because, you know, everybody has a mask on. You can't see anything. I will leave you with this. For a lot of people, it was quite an adjustment, the whole social distancing thing. But my crew, people like me, have always had social distancing. We've had our own form of social distancing. It's called Dungeons and Dragons. Social distance was pretty much implied with Dungeons and Dragons. It's like, what are you afraid of contracting? And they were like, celibacy, incurable celibacy. And it's like, fair. And that's why there are incels now. You used to be able to channel your sexual frustration into a holy smite against a third level orc warlord. But now, anyway, that is my time. And I thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Violet. I know it's weird to do stand-up also from outer space without an audience. It's mostly the audience part, but we could hear their laughs even from all the way. I hope you could hear their laughter from Earth, because all of Earth laughed at the same time. I think they were listening to your set.
I just assumed, yeah.
No one wants to work a space room.
No.
Every time I do it, it's like, it's not me, guys. These usually work.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Violet.
Yeah, thanks.
Definitely. I know in the chat we shared Violet's Instagram handle. At Chaotic Violet, definitely follow her. Hilarious. So many good things. Bye, Violet. Enjoy space.
Bye, Violet.
Awesome.
Float away forever.
All right, so we have another wonderful way to de-stress here. We've heard tips to stress less, we've laughed, we've lost, we've loved. But what's the best coping tip? I don't know. But luckily, our next comedian has actually evaluated quite a few of them, and she's going to give us her hottest takes. So this next lady is a queer comedian. She's recently featured in San Francisco Sketch Fest. Sorry, not Kvetch Fest. That's like what I would be on as a whiner. Sketch Fest, which is more what you would be on, Chris, because you're sketchy.
Hey-o.
Anyway,
it's true.
You can follow her on Instagram at DDEE Makes. So please, let's learn and laugh with Dylan McKeever.
Dylan McKeever, everybody.
Hey, I'm Dylan. Let's talk about some coping mechanisms. So, I've rated my coping mechanisms on a scale of 1 to 10 to see what works best. Hopefully this will be useful for you too. Let's take a look. Before we start, I want to set a baseline, and that's that I am high all of the time. And while this is a coping mechanism, it's one that informs all of the other ones. I just want to make that clear up top. Another thing I want to address is exercising, meditating, and reading. People are saying that these are great for your personal health, but I won't be rating these because it's literally impossible. You think you have time to do these things, and you do, but you won't. And it's important to admit that right now. For something a little more achievable, let's take a look at lying on the floor. Now we got a few different options here, so we're gonna look at each one. First off, lying face down feels right? Feels great. Unfortunately, you do have to smell your own breath, which at this point is rancid because you haven't brushed your teeth in 3 weeks, so 3 out of 10. Face up, it's a more pensive position. It gives you time to think about stuff, but if you're like me, it's hard because you probably don't have any deep thoughts because you're high all the time. 4 out of 10. And finally, there's lying on your side, which is great because it feels safe. Plus, you get to look at the dust on the floor. That's fun. If luck has it, you might find an old meatball under the couch like I did. Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball. 7 out of 10. Okay, getting dressed. Everyone's always like, oh, Dylan, you gotta get dressed. Get dressed in the morning. It's good to have a routine. Getting dressed is an easy one. So I tried it, and first thing I want to say is, what's the point? Why am I doing this? The next thing I want to say is what's the point? I don't get it. And finally, seriously, what is the point? Because if you look closely, still dead inside. Makes no difference. 2 out of 10. Video games. I love video games. First of all, they're great because they kill time like no other, right? Second, it feels like you're making progress even though you aren't, but it's nice to have that feeling. Okay, here's the problem. I play a lot of intense games and I sweat. I sweat a lot and it smells so bad. Like it's acrid and bitter in a way that's different from my normal stuff, and it's enough to like really make me upset. So I'm only giving this one a 5 out of 10. Sorry. Reading the news. We're all reading the news, right? It's important to stay up to date. Of course it's devastating, but you can't stop for some reason. And when I come to think of it, this isn't coping. This is the trauma. Honestly, I don't know why I included this one. Negative 10 out of 10. Okay, compulsive online shopping. Look, I love buying shit on the internet. Such a great dopamine hit. But it's also a question of, is this morally conscionable right now? Supporting these companies, clogging up the USPS, all so that you can have a taxidermy alligator claw on a stick delivered directly to your door. Like, is that okay? I don't know. 7 out of 10. Stroking your face with a taxidermy alligator claw on a stick. Oh my god, you guys. So soothing. It's like ASMR, basically. Feels so good. It's also like fun to just look at the claw. It's fascinating. One thing I noticed is that one of the fingers is missing a claw. Do you see that? Is that normal? I don't know. I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. So I couldn't stop wondering, is it normal for a finger to be missing a claw? Google says yes. Check it out, right there. Here's another missing claw. Wild, right? Is it because of evolution? I don't know. I do know that it is cool. This guy here, he's got 2 claws missing. Good to know. And I feel like that knowledge is a 9 out of 10. The highlight of my day is peeping dogs at the park. Remember joy? Remember friendship? It's all there at the dog park. They don't know what's going on. They're having a good time. The only sad thing is when one comes up to you with this like happy grin on its face and you can't pet it. And it's like, why not? Like, are you okay? And you're like, I can't pet you right now. And the dog will turn away back to its friends with this sort of like confused look. And it's heartbreaking. And you think about that face for the rest of your day and you feel bad. It's a 6 out of 10. Next coping mechanism, kissing your hand as if it's a passionate, generous, and sensual lover. Okay, so first off, I haven't touched another person since mid-March, so don't knock it till you try it, all right? It's also cool because it feels like being a teenager again. Also, it sure is nice to kiss something. Personally, I think it's important to get a lot of practice in right now for when things reopen up. You don't want to be rusty. And finally, it isn't masturbating. Is it? Maybe it is. Maybe it's sort of unclear. 8 out of 10. Try it out. Banana bread. Look, if you're one of those fools who doesn't like to do things because they're too popular, like, get a grip on yourself. Banana bread is delicious, okay? Look at this shit. Look at it. I made that. And it's super easy to make. It's a flexible recipe. It tastes amazing. And I don't have a joke for this slide. It's just an uncomplicated recommendation. Try it out. 9 out of 10. Vid chatting friends. I miss my friends so fucking much, and this is my only like connection to having a social life anymore. Don't let them see you cry on camera. Vid chats are so precious and so important. I feel like I could vid chat all day, all night. Except, don't they like get kind of boring by the end? And you feel like a little bit of relief when they're over and you can finally get back to kissing your own hand, right? You know what I'm talking about? 10 out of 10, baby. Okay, that's it. I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned something new, and I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having fun. And that's it. Bye.
Chris, you do that alone. You don't do that where I can see you. No.
It's kind of nice. It's actually kind of nice.
Circular. Get out of you. No,
Okay.
It's nice. You liked it. How was it? Was it good?
It was great. I actually really recommend it. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
All
not
right.
do it while we're in the same yurt, though.
Yeah, maybe when you have your private time when I leave the yard. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks so much, Dylan. That was edutainment at its finest. I
That was
laughed.
great.
I loved it.
And it was also like relatable. Man, every time I see a dog and I watch a dog go around, it's just like, man, I wanna be a part of that dog's life, and then you can't always be it. And then it is sad.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But we do have some things to look forward to even in these times. And one is our next segment, which I am pumped about.
That's true. You know, I'm happy you brought that up, Dana. I'm also very pumped about it. It is about something that we actually have yet to cover in these well shows, but directly pertains to wellness. And that is gardening.
Ooh.
That's right, gardening. Turns out gardening is not only practical because you can grow your own food, but it's also very therapeutic. So yeah, in this next segment, we're going to learn a little bit about therapy from gardening. So yeah, don't get too excited. Don't go getting ants in your plants.
But they're outside. They just climb in there.
Yeah. So we're just gonna herb your enthusiasm, and we're just gonna get right to it. All right. So with no further ado, we are going to bring up our next comedian who's going to teach us all about gardening. He is with the Midnight Gardeners League, which is fitting.
They have a whole league.
They're a group of comedians. They're a league of comedians in the DC area who do a bunch of silly, wacky comedy all over the place. He's also performed at the Creek and the Cave in New York and the Laughing Skull in Atlanta. Please put your hands together. Put them together. This is the honor system.
Honor system.
Everybody, for Pete Musto.
All right. Enjoy, Pete.
Enjoy it.
Are you lonely, frightened, and most importantly, angry? So angry that you're constantly breaking your hand, unsuccessfully trying to punch a hole in the drywall? If so, then you're like me. Me? I'm Pete Musto, seeker, learner, and now for you, teacher. You see, this world's dang crazy. It's liable to drive you crazy too if you let it. Myself, I was full of a deep, burning rage. Oh, I was angry, all right. Angry at my friends, angry at my family, angry at my coworkers. But after about 19 court-appointed anger management sessions, I started to realize you can't go through life just being mad all the time. I mean, legally, they won't let you go around being that mad all the time. So I turned to gardening as a way to clear my mind, let out all that negative energy, turn it into something that grows. It's beautiful. I don't know what that is, but you know, it's something that's coming out of the ground, and I made it do that, I think. And you can too. Loads of research points to the connection between a healthy amount of physical activity and positive mental health outcomes, along with eating right, getting plenty of sleep, and staring up into the sky and screaming until you lose consciousness. And right after my wife ran off with my boss, who had just changed my job title to lead chode smoker, I was rear-ended by an IRS agent on his way to audit me when I stepped on a dog turd and really thought I was gonna have a complete breakdown. Luckily, after wandering the streets muttering to myself for 3 rain-soaked weeks, I came across a community garden. One of the organizers gave me a flyer that talked about how working up a sweat out in the fresh air and sunshine worked wonders for stress, insomnia, anxiety, depression, and a whole host of other issues. But what captivated me most was the calmness of the people, focusing on nothing but their little patches of green. It hit me like a kick to the nuts that this could help me and all the other hyper-furious individuals out there more than therapy, drugs, or random acts of violence ever could. You know, one old wives' tale that's actually true about gardening is that it's very important to talk to your plants, to really let them know what you're thinking and feeling at any given moment. How much you hate them and their peaceful existence. Oh, your green leaves and your deep soil. Oh, God. Oh, I'm gonna rip you apart. I'm gonna turn you into tomato paste, you piece of I hate your guts. You fuck. Their ability to be silent and just do nothing all day and just grow faster. Getting started in gardening isn't as easy as it looks. Sure, you'll need a shovel to move dirt and plant seedlings, but also to bury your problems in menial, self-imposed labor. You'll need a hose or watering can to water your plants, plus a mouth guard to prevent you from grinding your teeth into dust as you toil for hours in the hot sun, until blacking out from heat exhaustion. Most important of all, you need a place to grow things. Good thing for you, though, that even though your pathetically unfulfilling life is a giant waste of everyone's time, there's probably a wretched patch of scrub grass stained yellow by dog piss somewhere near the dump you live in. A water feature is an excellent addition to any garden. It's something you can just spend your time staring at. Just kind of looking out into the void, letting it roll over you. The empty nothingness. Sound of the complete, total absence of human life. As my old man always says, if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing right. And even though he and I are still not on speaking terms, I do abide by some of his advice. So if you want your garden to be a success, here are a few tips. First, much like compost is a good way to repurpose kitchen and yard waste, taking all those petty grievances you've been holding on to, like that birthday no one came to, and tilling them into the soil of every row of seeds you plant will fuel their growth with your anger. Next, keep pests at bay by planting marigolds around your vegetable plots, and imagine what they might look like on the grave of your middle school bully. See, you've got to just let the beauty of the natural world wash away all of those dark thoughts. But not fully away. Keep a few of them, maybe one or two, tucked deep down inside, just for you. And if you ever start to feel like it's all gotten to be too much, and not even gardening can help you, like you might rip the face off of the next person to tell you another f***ing piece of bad news about the world right now, there's always light arson. After all, if you grew it, you can damn well burn it all down.
Wow. That was a roller coaster.
It was.
That was a lot. Learned
I
something.
mean, what can I say? He really rose to the occasion.
Yeah.
I was worried
he sure
he'd
did.
guarding his secrets, but he
That's
let
right.
him out. He let
That's
him
right.
out. So
That's right.
some
Catching
of
up
them
with the garden
anyways. It
puns.
seems like he's a deeply tortured man, but we appreciate him stopping by. Thanks so much, Pete.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Pete. And also thank you for the comment on the light arson. Light arson, everybody. Don't go crazy. Just like light a piece of paper on fire and make sure it's isolated and make sure it goes out.
Arson safely. That's our motto here at the show.
Yeah, and in the yurt generally.
Yeah.
So hey, speaking of doing things safely, I don't know. That's not a segue.
I was going to
But,
say things that are on fire, like our next act.
There it
That's
is.
a lot
There's-
better, right?
There's
That's
the
so clever.
segue. Thanks,
Yeah.
Dana. Oh, that was helpful. Thank you so much. So yeah, this guy is on fire. He is flaming in more ways than one. He is also my second cousin, which is pretty exciting. True story. Yeah, He is a famous stand-up comedian. He has been in New York City since like the late 70s for a
Before you
very
kids
long
were
time.
born.
Yeah, it's crazy. He has been on Comedy Central. He has been on NBC. He has been on Bravo's Queer Eye for a Straight Guy. He's done all kinds of things. But most of all, he's been related to me. So without further ado, let's see a video. Let's see a very recent video that we have from our good friend, soon to be yours, Mr. Jim David.
It's just a real treat to have him. Give it up for Mr. Jim David!
Hey everybody, greetings from Club Paradise. You know, I just love performing on the road. And you know, it's been a while since I posted one of these videos, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's amazing how little you can get accomplished when you have all the time in the world. We've also learned that black people protest when they're being murdered, and white people protest when they need a haircut. During the riots, my neighborhood in New York had burning police cars and Black Hawk helicopters hovering overhead, and I thought, man, I never realized I lived in Mogadishu. So I decided to flee here, because if you're going to shelter in place, why not, right? Oh, by the way, happy Pride, everybody. This is Pride Week. Normally, this week, everybody be going to bars and discos and having parties and exchanging bodily fluids, and this week, they're going to the couch. This is a kind of a special Pride for me because if you don't already know, my friend Donald Zarda, who was a skydiving instructor until he passed away 4 years ago, jumping off of a cliff in Switzerland because he was a lunatic. But he was a great lunatic. He looked like Mr. Clean. He was a muscular, very imposing guy. He's the kind of guy that walked, you know, into a room and everybody'd go, man, who's that? Because he was just this big muscular guy with a bald head, and he was in your face whenever he'd talk to you. You know, he'd go like ooh, and you couldn't hate him because he was so sweet. He'd cry on the phone about his cat. He'd go, my kitty is dying. This big muscle guy. But anyway, about 10 years ago, he got fired from an outfit on Long Island called Altitude Express for being gay. And he said, I'm going to sue him. And we all said, no, don't sue him. And he said, no, I'm going to. Because he was like this. And he sued him, and it made it all the way to the Supreme Court. And he was one of the cases that decided the issue before the Supreme Court that LGBT people are protected in employment. And that was hilarious to watch because every Talibangelical religious right character was pooping in their pants with this decision. But it was really kind of great. He took me skydiving the one time that we went. We were on a cruise in Mexico. This is 10 years ago. And we were in Cabo San Lucas the next day. And he said, okay, we're jumping tomorrow and you can't get out of it. And I was like, what? We're doing what? And he said, we're jumping. And I said, we're jumping out of what? And he said, a plane. And I said, I'm not going to jump. Anyway, we went out to the airport, and I saw this little plane on the tarmac that looked like the kind of plane that you would bring drugs across the border. You know, little tiny plane. And Donald said, okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to come up behind you and attach myself to you, and then I'm going to put my foot out of the plane on the thing, and then you're going to put your foot next to me, and then we're going to exit the aircraft. And I said, well, all right. And we were going up in this plane to 10,000 feet, and I'll never forget it. I was with a guy on the cruise, another guy whose name was Travis Balls, and he's in the military, and so he was Major Balls at the time. So Major Balls had another instructor, and they jumped out first, and when they jumped out of the plane, they were gone like that. And I went, holy shit. And I said, Donald, are we really going to jump out? And he said, it's the only way down, man. And he tapped on my shoulder and he said, are you ready, Jim? And I said, let's get the fuck out of here. And we jumped out of the plane, and immediately the first thing you have to do is go back so that you don't roll over like that. And so we jumped out of that plane. I did not know it was possible to have a movement at 120 miles an hour, but we jumped out of that plane but we were over Mexico, so it didn't make any difference. But we were flying through the air for like a minute. We free fell, and we were way over town. The beach was over there, and that was where we were going to land. But we were way over the town, and I said, "Aren't we going to land on the beach?" And he said, "Oh, you want to go over there?" And he turned and went, and we went out over the ocean and landed. And then when you land, you're like, "Oh my God, oh my God!" That's the most exciting thing I've ever done in my life. And I had to call my parents, and I called and I said, "Dad, I just jumped out of a plane at 10,000 feet. And my dad said, "Hang on a minute. Your son just jumped out of a plane at 10,000 feet. And my mother said, "Did he die?" But that's why this Pride is kind of special to me. And I hope it is to you in some way. You know, make the best of it.
Thanks, Cousin Jim.
If you just go, so one of our next performer was here in the Zoom chat, and noticed that he was on a real beach. It was not a Zoom background, because you could see it in his sunglasses, and that is mind blowing. And also now I'm jealous of him. And now
Or Zoom may have just upgraded their platform and just gotten a little bit fancier. It's possible.
Ooh.
It's possible.
It's possible. I mean,
Yeah.
we're really in the yurt, so obviously that's real, but oh my
That's real.
goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for dropping by, Jim.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Thanks, Cousin Jim. Also jealous of him having a major balls in his life. I could use one of those.
I believe that you can have a major balls in your life if you believe in yourself.
Do you mean that? Thank you, Dana. Oh, this is so us. This is so
us right now. But
Oh.
enough about us. I want to bring up our next performer. So this lady is hilarious and a good friend of mine. I don't know. She's amazing. She hosted last time in the yurt, but then they decided the yurt wasn't cool, so they left. Her and Simone, which I don't understand, but I respect. That's her journey. And speaking of journeys, she'll be taking us on a journey through her mind, where she's going to talk to us a little bit. So let's bring her up here.
Bring her up here,
Chelsea.
Take us on a journey, Chelsea.
Yeah, this is Chelsea Short.
Chelsea Short, everybody.
You got to promote. I think she's got to be promoted. We're going to promote her. We're going to make it happen.
We're going to make it. Oh, right. I'm going to promote her. All right. And Chelsea. There we go.
I see her name. She's going to show up. There she is.
There
Hi,
she
Chelsea.
is.
Hi, you're on mute.
What's up?
You're on
Hi.
mute, Chelsea.
You're on mute, Chelsea, but you look.
There you are.
Sorry. I've enjoyed the show so far. It's great to see y'all.
Yeah,
Oh,
really
good.
good
Good to see you
Thanks for joining
too.
us.
All right, we're gonna over here because it's
Okay.
your time to shine.
All
But
right.
then check out Chelsea at chelseashort.com. That's short with an E at the end, so more like Chelsea Shorty, but
That's
not
right.
pronounced that way. Respect the name. Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
All right,
Bye.
bye. See y'all in a little bit. It's now my turn. Okay. Welcome, as you can see. Now, I'm going to be talking a little bit about Pride through the pandemic. What can we do in this moment of quiet? How can we celebrate? How can we take care of ourselves? And maybe even some stories about what I've been going through, inspired by the slides that I've prepared. This kind of represents what my heart has been like for the last couple of months. I got dumped before the breakup, actually by a person very similar to these trees here. White, cold, and straighter than I initially thought. So this really does speak to me. In this time of quarantine, it's important to take a drive, to love yourself, look for some peace. Make sure you got the heat on in the car, and that car is your heart. Wow. Now, these white people are on a boat. I guess they're not quarantined. The world's their oyster. They're probably eating oysters on the boat right now. One thing I want to point out about this is that even though this is a pride show and these two people, one might look like a man and one might look like a woman, we have no idea what their sexuality is. We can't tell whether or not he's gay because he's bald. A lot of gay men are bald. It's a good choice for them, but that doesn't, being bald is not an indicator of sexuality. Neither is like a lace dress, you know, like a lace back. That anybody could wear that. You could be bisexual or pansexual or something else and wear a lace. Like I don't know if I'd wear a lace. You know, I think that's one of the bright sides of this pandemic, you know, like, why can't I wear lace? Maybe I should. Who's going to see me? Maybe I should just love myself wearing lace, you know? Damn. Jupiter makes you thoughtful, you know? Jupiter is kind of like what my apartment is. Like there's a red storm, it's really gassy, it's kind of on its own and it's big and it's like getting bigger because it hasn't been exercising, but also like it has, but it's ordered a lot of drizzly, but it's still got pride in itself because Jupiter knows that it can change. It could change tomorrow. Like that storm has been raging for a while, but if it wanted to, it could get another moon, you know? Why can't it get another moon? It's cool. Another moon would love to orbit around Jupiter. You know what I'm saying? It could happen. Jupiter just needs to stay positive. And maybe Jupiter needs to work out not for like a better body, but just to feel better about themselves. Glasses in the pool is definitely a very gay move. It's either like gay or douchey. Sometimes that Venn diagram overlaps, but sometimes, no, it's definitely a circle. Shouts out to this dude who's got his nipples on blast. I mean, I think that's definitely pride. I don't know if it's straight pride, but you know, that's cool. One day I want to get like that, you know what I'm saying? Have my nipples on blast. That would be a joyous day in the pool, post-pandemic. I can't wait. Yo, this pool, he's alone in the pool, which is nice. I'm jealous. Oh, this is a rare breed right here. This is a bisexual man. A lot of people don't think they exist, but they do. You just have to look for them. Just have to be patient. They'll show themselves. They do exist. Look at him. He's got teeth. He's angry. He's angry because nobody thinks he's there. He's there. Look at his little hands. He can do work with those hands. You don't think he can? He can. Little claws. I love it. Listen, I mean, the truth is, I don't even know if I'm gay anymore. I've been inside for a long time, and I've been watching a lot of stuff on the internet, and I'm not saying this isn't one of my kinks, you know what I mean? Like, I've just been alone in a basement for a long time, and I gotta get into this. If this dinosaur consents, we could do a Zoom date, you know? We could get some, okay. I think I need to stop. Maybe I do need to get back in contact with my therapist. But thanks for letting me talk to y'all. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, I will definitely share your number with that dinosaur because I think he might be interested. And if not, his loss is all I can say.
I mean, just give me a heads up because I know they can open doors. So,
you know, there's clever girls and boys, and just stay still. You know, their vision's based on movement. So, you know, it's probably good that you haven't been exercising because they are keep it. You know.
Can I offer a comedic rebuttal to Jim earlier?
Of course.
Sure, please.
You know, he was talking about how white people protest over haircuts and Black people protest over murders. The reason like, of course, Black people should protest over our murders, but the reason we don't protest over haircuts is because every Black person has the ability to give ourselves a halfway decent haircut. Like, we all come equipped, you know what I mean? Like, we all have clippers. Like, I wasn't worried. I can take care of myself in a pinch, because you never know when your barber's just disappears, you know? Sometimes that happens. They just skate, rent's due, they don't have it, the shop closes. Like, sometimes you just gotta,
it's just like,
you gotta stay prepared.
I feel like that's something we can
go ahead, Chris, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to weigh in on this. I feel like I haven't seen this issue raised in any of the protests, but maybe.
I mean, you've been to the protests. I mean,
like,
if
where's
y'all
that
have been to
sign?
the protests,
Yeah.
comment online. Have you seen a Black person there with their hair looking busted? No, you haven't. Everybody looks sharp.
So it's everywhere. It's actually everywhere.
I mean, if you want to design or something, you need to go to somebody with special skills. If you want it to look really sharp, you got to go to somebody with special skills. But like, we can get it tight enough to leave the house and not be embarrassed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's just almost like, okay, like, this might sound bad, but like, I almost wish I was systemically oppressed enough that, you know, I didn't have to worry about that and knew how to take care of my own self, because I don't, because of all my privilege, you know? So I don't even know what that's like, but.
Oh boy. All right.
It does sound very bad. Very, very bad. That's true.
I don't know.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if I did it right, but I did it.
You did it.
Right,
You did
everybody.
it.
And we're gonna give that Dino your number. So thank you for coming on
Thanks,
by.
Chelsea.
Thanks so much, Chelsea.
All
All right,
right.
definitely check out Chelsea Short everywhere
Yeah.
she is.
Chelsea Short, everybody, check her website out. She's awesome. Been all over the place, and yeah, make sure to follow her.
Follow her. So
Yeah,
spiritually
I
and
am
literally on social media.
correct. I'm exhausted. Right? What a journey. What an exercise. But you know what? I don't think you can really get too much exercise these days. Am I right? Am I
I don't
right?
know if I'm following you on this one, Chris. I think
Okay.
any exercise is too much.
Okay. Well, we have different opinions on that. Well, perhaps, Dana, this next video will help change your mind.
Oh my God, I hope so.
Yeah, so this is a video all the way in from San Francisco. Once again, another San Franciscan comic. This comic not only does comedy, she is a former software engineer, shocker, from San Francisco. Never saw that coming.
Ooh, so she can afford to live there, maybe. That's fun.
Sure, yeah, savings alone, probably. And she quit that job to pursue becoming a fitness influencer as well as a stand-up comedian. So we are going to right now see what a fitness influencer on Instagram looks like, because that's a thing.
I've definitely never followed one. So this is going to be new for me.
Dana's going to learn a lot right now.
I'm going to be influenced.
Yeah, she's going to be influenced. Let's hope so. Yeah, without further ado, please put those hands together, everybody. Put them together. Put them together for Annette Mullaney.
Hi, welcome to Rock Bottom Fitness. Can you guess what the most important thing is to bring to any workout? A good attitude? Not really. Most of my workouts, I'm salty as fuck. Fucking bullshit. Here's a little hint. It's for women. A sports bra? Definitely top 5. Titties are not ergonomic for working out. But no, this is even more important. Leggings? You'd think so, but no. It's resistance bands! Don't try to resist these bands, especially if you're trying to build a butt, which if you're a woman, you definitely are. It's like the #1 goal. I think it's the only one for women in the gym. No exceptions. And if you're a man, you should be building a butt. I know it's all about the biceps, but the glutes are the biceps of the legs. And according to my extensive Instagram research, nothing works the booty like bands. Honestly, if you aren't using bands, are you even trying to grow your glutes? I guess what, you're just like happy with yourself? You're just happy with yourself and your body? What the fuck are you doing in the gym then? Mental health? Oh yeah, right. It's fun. Physical health? Right. Strength? Right. The joy of improvement and mastery over a skill? Yeah, right. So, how do you use bands? If you're doing a leg exercise, just throw a band in there to target the booty. The most effective exercises to target your glutes are the ones that look the most sexually aggressive. If any resistant band companies out there want to sponsor me, I will gladly hump the air wearing your bands. When you bring bands to the gym, other people are going to be so envious of you. They'll be like, oh, did you get those here? And you get to be like, no, I brought them. Fuck off. These are all my bands. You can't have any. I'm not even using them. But you can't either. Buy your own bands. Seriously, if you want to sponsor me, open. Email me. I'm down. I will rep your shit hard. I'm a big whore. Love the bands. Throw some bands on your arms, even though nobody cares about your arms. You can use them for like your whole body.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Add bands to chores. For lounging around the house. For violence. Add bands to despair. They're great for working out at home during the quarantine. Add bands to everything. Do you use bands? If so, how?
Like and subscribe.
Well, all right. Wow.
I'm influenced.
What do you think about that, Dana? Are you ready? Ready to exercise?
I'm ready. If I can do some salsa dancing with bands, I'm on it. I'm in it. Let's do this. Later, though, not on camera. Maybe alone, like in the dark, quietly, where no one can see me exercise. Maybe that'd be fun.
Okay, we don't have a closet here in the yurt, but we can turn off the lights. Maybe you can do it then. I can just look the other way.
All right, cool.
It's fine.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Instagram, everybody. That is what that looks like. An Instagram fitness influencer. Please make sure to follow her at rock_bottom_fitness. Rock bottom fitness. Also fitting for Pride. Fitting title for Pride.
Absolutely. So perfect. We have a few videos left, but they're all short. They're all short, little ones. I know we went a little bit long because we're having some issues at the beginning. Actually, I don't know where for you, the viewer, Chris is. So I'll just go, Chris is all around me because we're in a yurt.
Yeah.
So, so we're running a little bit long, but thanks for sticking with us. These are all 3 short, hilarious, wonderful videos from very funny people. And our next one, It's basically about how the quarantine is over, which I know we all agree with and feel great about the way the government's handling this.
Oh, yeah.
And so to kind of celebrate that and talk us through that is a very great comedian. He was part of the Grassroots Comedy family, recently relocated, but here he is through the power of the internet. So please enjoy Matt Dundas and learn from him.
Matt Dundas, everybody, co-founder of Grassroots Comedy.
Hi, I'm Some Guy, and I approve this message. Great news, America. The shutdown is over. We're open for business. Come on out and see your friends and family with a mask on and at a distance of at least 6 feet if you're not part of the at-risk community and you've been symptom-free for the last 14 days. Symptoms include headache, fever, runny nose, sore throat, dry mouth, nausea, fatigue, loss of taste or appetite, sweaty palms, itchy feet, loose stool, dry vagina, rash, flaky skin, sinus pressure, tooth pain, sweaty balls, achy joints, confusion, and uneven cuticles. Also, if you have any pre-existing conditions, such as diabetes, asthma, lethargy, leprosy, spiritual bankruptcy, or if you watch a lot of MSNBC, stay home until there's a vaccine, which is right around the corner and should be ready by the early 2030s. To be certain, ask your doctor if freedom is right for you. Otherwise, get psyched. So put your pants on and your face mask and keep your distance and come on out and enjoy your town, if your town hasn't been burned to the ground. Paid for by the Committee for the Advancement of COVID-19.
That's fun.
Yeah, that was a feel-good one.
Yeah, I feel ready. I feel ready.
Yeah, let's do it, man. What a change of framework. Let's do it. I want some bunny rabbits to juggle, man.
Okay, that could happen indoors as well. But
that's true. That's true.
You know,
The
live your
ceiling
truth.
Could be higher here in the Europe, but yeah, that was great. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So we have, like, again, a couple more little videos, little short little niblets for you all to chew on. Num num num, so delicious and hilarious.
Yeah.
This next video also comes from out of town. This lady's from Brooklyn, New York, and she's performed all over the place at the Magnet Theater. She's been featured on NBC, CNBC, which is the NBC that people see, A&E, other assorted letters. She's a big freaking deal, you guys. And here she is joining us with some beauty tips to keep it looking good. So please enjoy Kate Shine.
So a lot of you have been asking about my skincare regimen. That's not actually true. No one's been asking. People have been wondering about my skin. No one fucking cares. If you're out there and you're wondering about my skincare regimen, I forgot what I was gonna say. In case you're wondering about my skincare regimen, which maybe you are, maybe you aren't, it doesn't... I have to do something. I have to do something. I have to do something. I don't know what this does. I have these cuts all over my hands and I don't know where they're from.
All right, Kate Shine.
Kate Shine, everybody.
Wow, segment's taking a dark turn at this late point in the show, but you know what? We're going to end on a positive because you know who's next.
I feel like I do based on that introduction. I feel like I do, everybody. And we're just gonna go straight into it.
We're doing it?
We're gonna do it, everybody.
We're
so
doing
with no further ado, we're gonna go to our spiritual guru. The guru who makes this whole thing but you could say he makes it possible. He
this
ties
thing
it together.
is
He's like the rug, the carpet that really brings a room together, you know, just like in the Big Lebowski. So without further ado, please put your hands together, everybody, or your paws for Oogie Boogie. So damn inspiring. That's just so inspiring. Wow. Wow.
It's just like, we've all felt apathetic sometimes, but then to see him just like chew that word. Wow. It's big stuff. Oh, Oogie. Wow. Wow.
Oogie,
well,
Oogie Boogie.
Look, we all went on a journey. We laughed. We hopefully laughed. We don't know. We can't hear you.
Yeah.
I laughed. I enjoyed all the acts and all the comedians, and I appreciate them sharing their talents with us. And I appreciate you, humble viewer, for sitting in, for logging into another online meeting. We just want to thank you so much for stopping by the Well show. And if you haven't donated yet, it's not too late. You can still donate using the internet at tinyurl.com/wellpride. And you should do that because these are important organizations. These are crazy times, and we can all be the change, just like Oogie said. So
like Oogie.
Don't disappoint him.
Listen, Oogie, you don't have to write down that link. All you need to do is click on it. Everybody, go to the YouTube chat and just find the link that Dana just said, tinyurl /well, something like that. You'll see it. And you just click on that link and then you just donate. Okay. If you don't donate, I guess that means that you hate gay people and Black people too, which is a shame. And that's not something anyone.
Then you're not allowed to have watched the show.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Turn
you unwatch it.
Turn off the show.
Turn it off.
You disgust me. Anyways, I know that's none of you watching. I know you're all good folks who love everyone. So thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. We appreciate you sticking with us. We'll be back in New York sometime soon. So keep an eye out for our next show. We appreciate you.
And until next time, be well, everybody. Take care. Bye.
Bye.